All right, so all of us, right? We got pretty close this year. All of us, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
hold on. Reset.
We got pretty close this year, right? All of us, we're pretty good friends.
Yeah.
We know each other for about a year, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
So I think it's time in for a little bit, confession session.
Okay.
We'll talk about something, we maybe be holding in for this year. We're gonna start off slow though. We have three different levels. I'm gonna ask the group 1 through 6, and we're gonna all pick numbers between 1 through 6, and we're gonna all answer based on the group decision. So, what do you guys want to do? Pick a number 1 through 6. First answer. Any number.
I'll do 1.
1. What is a dream that you haven't achieved yet? What is a dream that you haven't achieved yet? And this goes for everybody.
Ooh.
We can start with Cam. What's a dream that you haven't achieved yet?
I want to have my own business.
What do you want to do? The clothing business that you were starting to do?
Yeah.
How's that coming along?
Pretty good.
That's good. Pretty good. You got clothes coming soon?
I mean, I've been posting it. You've been seeing it.
Yeah, I'll buy one.
Okay, then coming soon.
Oh, how soon?
Hey, I ain't gonna have to put no dates.
Drops this summer.
Coming soon.
This summer.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, what about you, Nicholas?
Film director.
You're gonna be a film director,
Yeah.
and that's your job, dream job, something you want to do in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Nehemiah?
NFL player.
You be NFL.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. The NFL player.
Next Tom Brady.
That's Tom Brady.
I'm good. Next Julio. For sure.
I guess for me, it's like one dream I haven't achieved yet is probably like be like more independent, like way more independent. I'm talking about like soon, like I'm 18, I can have my own job, my own house, I can do what I want, be financially stable.
Just be able to live.
Live.
Yeah.
I don't want to live like Cameron said earlier, no office job. That's something I want to do. And I also want to be like just like a director like Nicholas. That's
Have
good.
you know them apartments like with the city view
Yes,
apartments?
those
I
are.
want one of
I
them.
want them to raise.
I gotta have one.
It's expensive.
It's very
I don't
expensive.
give a fuck, bro. I'll pay whatever I gotta pay.
I gotta do whatever I gotta do.
Get one in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm not a football player, I want to be an actor, so y'all can hire me. You know.
Cameron, you'll be a great actor. Level 2. All right, we get a little bit of emotion here. So level 2, pick a number 1 through 6. Anyone?
I picked last time. 2.
2. What is the most painful thing you have ever been told in your whole life? It can be emotional or physical. Starting with Nick. Starting with Cam.
Wait, what was the question?
What was the most emotional thing, or most painful thing you have ever been told?
Start with your mind, because I gotta think about it.
For real.
Go ahead.
Well, it's being told I can't do something.
Like you can't be told like
Just by people in general, like classmates,
Your own
peers. Yeah, people
like
like
you can't
that.
play football because you're too short. You can't you
Mhm.
can't dunk because you're like stuff like that.
All that. But it also fueled me to do better, get better.
Have you ever thought about have those ever affected you? Like have you ever like hinder your performance or hinder your motivations?
Well, it motivated me to do better and show them that
Have you
they speaking
ever-
lies.
Have you ever thought about like, oh, I can't do it? Have you ever thought about that?
Of course, always have that mentality sometimes, but
But you-
at the end of the day, it's life. You can always overcome it. So.
How did you overcome?
Knowing and trying to get better,
Mhm.
although it might be hard,
Mhm.
and just continue to do that and continue to perfect whatever you're trying to get and do.
Never give up. Oh,
Never give up.
I like that. I like that. What about you, Nicholas?
Wait, repeat it one more time.
What is the most painful thing you've ever been told?
I've been told anything painful, but I don't like when people lazy.
Like, you don't like people being lazy. Like,
Like if somebody lazy on my team, we gonna have a problem.
that's
what really infuriates
sports
me.
and anything. Like somebody not
Anything.
trying.
I'm very competitive, so if you lazy and you don't do what you gotta do, then we got a problem.
That's right. Yeah, school, sports, all that. Even
Anything,
film team, all that stuff.
anything, yeah.
That's why you pick. That's why you pick this
Anything,
group.
bro.
That's why you.
Anything, bro.
That's why you pick this group.
If you lazy, bro, it's a problem.
And that feels the most painful to you. That's what
Yeah, I don't like to lose.
I like. Painful. You don't like losing. I like that. What about you, Cam? You want to go first? Have a good answer.
When I used to go to after school,
Mhm.
when I was little, one of my teachers had told me that like nobody likes me.
No one liked. Who said that? A teacher or a student?
A teacher. And she
A
had, like,
teacher said that to you?
Yeah, I was like talking to some of my friends, and she had pulled me aside. And it was basically nobody likes you or something like that.
That's not funny.
That's
And
I
then
don't
she had told me that I wasn't going to like.
You know. Now, how
she
old
told
were
me
you?
to stop trying to fit in or something like that.
How old were you?
I was like 7.
See how
And
stuff sticks with
She
you?
told me that I wasn't gonna be nothing. So yeah,
But hey, you proved it right.
Look where you at now.
Look at you right now. Do see something.
I just use that as motivation. That's what she said.
Yeah, I agree. I'm proud of you, Cam.
And
Probably.
I still remember it because I went home crying, bro. And I had told my mama everything, but I didn't want her to do too much. Like I didn't want her to come up to the place and like say nothing.
That's great. That's great. Glad you know teach you a lesson. Glad teach you something.
For real, and she's a teacher, bro.
Oh, that can't be.
Working
That's
on
fine. That's
minimum
out of
wage,
pocket. That's
yeah.
out of pocket. That's out.
She's a whole teacher.
What's most painful thing to me I've been through? It's been quite a bit. It's quite a few. Recently, it's probably that breakup for freshman. Well, it was like a year ago. She was like after like this couple months of like about a couple weeks of just like very being distant. It's like I don't think we can do it anymore. Or like found doing or like other stuff like that. And that was not a good time to be like wasn't emotionally stable for about quite a few months. Even till now. Something that I had to overcome.
Did it make you better?
Honestly, definitely.
Good.
Definitely made me better.
Growing experience.
It was a really great growing experience. Something like pain is a good teacher. I always say this. Pain is a good teacher because you don't grow out because pain doesn't go away until you grow out of it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Did you ever get over her? Like do you still have love for her?
No. I mean right now I don't. It's more of it just pity. That was really the deepest question here. Guys, pick a number 1 through 6. 2.
2.
This is if you have 5 minutes to give advice to a younger version of yourself, what would you say? If you magically go back in time, you have 5 minute talk, what would you say?
Nicholas go first.
Nicholas go first.
Advice, anything, relationship, school, mental.
Go places, big dreams.
I mean,
Like specifically, like you for a younger version of yourself, what would you say? Like what would you say to that person? Like quote unquote.
like what would the conversation?
What would the conversation be like?
I would probably tell my younger self to not concede to others' expectations and
Because
to dream big. I mean,
work on your set expectation for yourself, not for
Yes.
other people.
small dreams don't get you places.
That's great. Who wanna go next? Yeah.
Like I said, I would just tell myself just to don't worry about like what other people have to say. And just I don't know, have big dreams, I guess. And one thing I struggled with was like I used to be afraid to try new stuff because I didn't want to fail.
Mhm.
But I learned that like you're not gonna be able to do something like
You can't do anything without trying that.
If you
Yeah.
don't try.
If you don't try, you're not gonna succeed because
you can't succeed if you're not a winner if you don't fail, basically.
like you're scared of like
So
losing.
like I
You're
was
scared
afraid
of
to
failing.
try stuff. So I basically just tell myself just to don't get afraid to try anything.
You're afraid of losing.
Because you can do anything if you put your mind to it. So yeah.
Okay, so something I would tell my younger self would have been, well, I've always had the mentality of not listening to what other people say. All that's like white noise.
Mhm.
But I would have a conversation that's deep enough to have with my 10-year-old self
Mhm.
that it stuck with him, with me,
Mhm.
a lot longer because, like, I didn't try as many things as I thought I could
Mhm.
when I was younger. Like, right now, I could have a D1 scholarship, to be honest. If I played football and actually tried, because, you know,
Like,
I was,
stick with the thing. Stick with it.
yeah, stick with one thing instead of blah blah blah, this that,
Mhm.
switching what I want to do,
Mhm.
trying to do that, and
Commitment.
If I would have committed to just one thing from the beginning,
Mhm.
things would be a lot different.
Commitment. That's great. That's great. For me, I think I'll tell myself this, that like in life, not everything needs a reaction, no matter if it's a good or bad. All you have to do is keep your head up, because we experience a lot of good things. We experience we experience a lot of bad things in life, right? But you can't but you don't have to react to it. So, and based on how you react to it is how you're gonna handle it. Because if I go tell myself like, hey, bad things gonna happen to you, and it's gonna be okay. Just keep your head up and keep going. That's the one thing I'll probably tell myself. Like break up won't happen. You're gonna lose some friends. You're gonna do something. You're gonna fail. You're gonna experience disappointment. You're gonna experience failure, and that's gonna be okay. That's one thing I'll tell myself. And actually, we got one last question. The very last question. And this is for everybody, right? The level 4. And it's the only question for level 4. And this is, how much will you sacrifice for the people that you love?
Ooh, that's a really hard question. Okay, I'll go first.
It depends on like what do you mean?
Okay.
Sacrifice, like some maybe let's say love can be anything, like people. So you can be like, I don't want to say people love, like something you love to do. Like if you have a sport, how much would you sacrifice it? Somebody you love, what would you do for them? Like sacrifice sleep, money, even yourself.
You wanna go first? Who's going to go? I'll go first. 'Cause I already have that mental, because my parents already, my dad especially always talk to me about, you gonna have to sacrifice a lot of time, effort, your mental, physical strength. Because my dad's a truck driver, so he's always gone.
Yeah,
So he has to sacrifice his time away from us. He has to sacrifice his physical abilities, lifting tires and all that. So he's sacrificed a lot for us to have what we have now. But I'll sacrifice what I need to sacrifice to achieve something. Like if I have to cut people off, I'll cut them off, because
that doesn't help you.
they're not helping me get to my goal. They just in my way. I'll just move around them.
Great.
Simple as that.
Great. That's good here.
As for like persons, I think I would sacrifice everything. 'Cause
Like your mom, you do everything for
mom, dad, because they do everything for me. I mean,
you can do at least show some gratitude back.
Without their sacrifice,
Yeah,
we
you would be
wouldn't
facts. So I think.
I love you, Mom. I love you.
Love you, mom. Love you, mom. Yeah.
What about you, Kim?
So, like, my parents, when I was born, my parents had me young, so like they had me when they were like straight out of high school, like 20 years old. So when I was born,
Did you have any problems growing up, being so you was grown? Like, do you have any childhood memories of that time?
nah, I was just like, I wasn't really like in a stable home. I was just like always either at my grandma's house or at my nana's house or at somebody's house. And like my parents weren't really like home most of the time, so it was really just me and my aunties and my grandma. But my parents, like, they still, like, they worked really hard because they weren't really in a situation where they could take care of a child, so they sacrificed a lot for me. And I would definitely sacrifice.
And you're grateful for that, like what they done for you.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely sacrifice a lot for them because, like, they sacrificed a lot for me to just be able to, like, have a
Better
nice
life than that.
childhood and do the things I want to do. Like, my dad, I wanted to do Boy Scouts, and he sold, like, all his music equipment, so he could buy me, like, the uniform and everything for Boy Scouts. So
That's great. That's great to
I
hear.
would sacrifice because they did a lot for me, and I want to do the same thing for them when I get older. So I would sacrifice it.
But my answer is basically the same for basically all of y'all. I'll probably do anything. Parent, child, they came here as an immigrant, like fresh out. They got married fresh out of high school at 18. Came here, came here from China all the way to America, and great. They worked very hard. Almost it was on 12 hours a day. Worked on their business, worked on their restaurant, just to provide some kind of stability into the family. Thankfully, I was born as a second generation. My brother was born first. He had to went through a lot of hardship of walking to school because they didn't have money to afford a car. Then had to pay a lot of debt because of the lawyers they have to afford, and that was very restraining on them. And I'm glad that I have the life that I have without having to go through all that trouble they went through for me. So yeah, that's why I'll say the same answer for all of you. And that's it. And that's it. That's all the question we have here. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Hope y'all had a good therapy section.
I love you, baby.